It's a brand new day here on Delmarva. We didn't do much in the shop. It's Memorial Weekend. I spent the time with the family. It was quite crappy outside to be outside, but beautiful for the corn. We got like 1 3/4 inches of just a nice soaking rain, and we needed it bad. So I was so glad to see that. It gave us a chance to just sit in the house and watch some TV, play board games, and just do family stuff. But I did have time to run out and got the parts and pieces for the sprayer. Got our belt, and honestly, the price on everything wasn't that terrible. It all came to $300. I thought I remember just the belt being $300, but apparently that's not true. It's like $150. So we're gonna work on this today, and we gotta finish this up. I lowered the 3-point hitch all the way down so I could get into here a bit better and get behind here, finish this weld up, but it has all been welded. Let's go ahead and get this job done, because I wanna get on that. I wanna get that done, spiffied up, all back together. Let's get it going. All right, we are all done welding. That's got to cool off, and I'll throw some paint on it, and we'll be good to go. So this is the final result. I had to build this all up in here because there's 2 plates here, and one overlapped the other, so I had a pretty big gap in there. Now I welded the first plate, and that probably would have been fine, but I figured, what the heck, I need the practice anyway, so I welded a bead across the bottom, and then welded a bead across the top to tie them together. Overkill, probably, most likely, because I don't know what I'm doing. And I don't want this thing to fall off. So there's our welds. I don't know, you tell me, if you're a welder, how horrible is it? I'm very open to constructive criticism, or I do like a good joke. So if you got a good joke about my weld job, I'm fine with that. I'd like to hear it, because I'm still learning. Yeah. Okay, let this cool off, and while that's doing that, we're gonna go ahead and start taking the tank off of this, or not, maybe not off of it, but we're gonna slide it back. Enough for me to get in here, split the sprayer, replace our pulley, spring, and belt. Yes, that's what we're doing. Okay, let's change gears here. For those that have never taken the tank off one of these 6500 sprayers, and I'd venture to say most of you have not, it's only held in by 2 bolts. That's it. Other than that, it just sits in a rail here. So you take these 2 bolts out here, and there's one on the other side, and disconnect the hose, the main draft hose, pull the tank right back. It's that simple. All right, well, there you go. There is the main belt. This is the pulley that we got a little bit of play in that I want to replace, and if you know where the spring is, right there. And I thought the spring that they were going to give me would be much bigger than this one, but it's really not a whole heck of a lot bigger. But we're going to put the right one in there to keep proper tension. We got to take this belt off and then loosen up the tensioner, and then we can slide this belt off. And that's going to be a pain to get, because we've got that shaft up there we got to get around. We'll get it. I don't know how much of this you're going to be able to see, because it's obviously, as you can see, it's kind of a tight working environment, and I'm going to need my hands. All right, belts are out. I want you to see this. There's the new belt. Okay, that's what it should look like. This is the old belt. And it's really not that old of a belt, but see the grooves cut in it in the center of the ridges here? They're not supposed to be there. And you can see the belt started to deteriorate bad there, but it cut perfect grooves right dead center of the belt. And I had never seen that before, and everybody I've talked to has never seen that before. So what happened was, rather than the belt going down, the cogs, if you will, going down into their slots like they're supposed to, it hopped up and was riding on the ridge. And you would think, you know, under all the pressure and stress, when it rides on that ridge, it would fall one way or the other, but it didn't. It sat right there and made a heck of a mess. Now here's our pulley, and as you can see, it's wobbling. It needs to come off. So I mean, the frame is loose, that's why it's wobbling a whole heck of a lot, but it's bad. It needs to come out. So we get that, get all that put back together. I'll show you. This is the old pulley, and just listen to it. It should be whisper quiet. Here, those bearings were Definitely bad. And here is the new one. Can't hear a thing. So yeah, she needed to be replaced. So think back to episode, I think it was called My Spring Is Sprung, where we had to replace the spring, the idler spring on that main drive belt. And this is what I used. However, this is the one that John Deere has in their parts list. So as you can see, there is a significant difference in the size of them. I would venture to say that the blue one here is 2.5, maybe 3 times the size of material used to make the spring. So that is probably what destroyed that belt, was my being cheap and trying to go with something I just happened to have laying around. I'll admit it, farmers are cheap. We're just cheap people. We don't want to spend money, but it costs me money in the long run. And that's, as I get older and the more I work on equipment and the more I farm, I'm learning to just do it the right way, get the right part, because in the long run, it always ends up costing me money. So, lesson learned, again, it'll get there. I promise, it'll sink in eventually. All right, everything is done. Sprayer put back together, belt on, pulley on, spring on. Looks great, should run okay. Got all this put back together. Got our new hitch-me job thingy done here, all painted up. And if you couldn't tell, I paint like I weld. The more the merrier. I don't know, I don't think it looks too bad. What do you think? It's all right, you can be brutally honest. We all know I'm not a welder. But I don't think it'll fall off. And if it does, I'll just blame Eugene. That's probably the easiest thing to do. So it is Memorial Day, and me being a veteran, I would like to remind everybody what Memorial Day is about. It's about the men and women who died for this country. It's about the men and women that have sacrificed everything to ensure that we have the freedom to stand out there at our barbecue grills and enjoy vacations this weekend. They didn't just protect the weekend, they protected all 365 days for us. And all every day from 1776 to now. So while y'all are enjoying yourselves this weekend, and this video is going to come out late, I know it will. It'll be a couple of weeks after Memorial Day, but thank a veteran who's living. Think about a spouse who lost their loved one and served this country. And that's what the day's for. So anyway, God bless y'all. God bless America. Thank y'all for watching, and goodbye from Delmarva. Shorebilly Farmer, out.